All right, what is going on, my dudes? So we're back here today with war number 8 of the season. We have our boy Spidey 2099 back in the lineup. We have our boy Crossbones back in the lineup. And of course, we have our lady friend Ghost as well. So up first, we are on path 2 in section 1. Power struggle, strike counter fury against this I-bomb, right? Ghost loves fighting I-bomb. She told me, she said, Mike, I'm a really big fan of fighting I-bomb because I have so much fun doing it. So if you would let me do it more, I'd really appreciate it. So I was going to do this fight with somebody else. I said, Ghost, people don't like watching you in Alliance War. That's just the thing. And she said, please, I'll do anything. I love fighting I-bomb so much. And I said, you know what? Fine, I'll let you do it. But people are going to complain. But what can I say? I'm a nice guy, I let her do it, right? So yeah, at this point, I went for the special one because I didn't want him to get too many Furies, all right? And it looked like it worked out. So after this, we have Mr. Negative on the second node on path 2. Now, this was a fight I was going back and forth between Crossbones and between Ghosts, and they both would have been really good for it. I really like using Crossbones in war, to be entirely honest. I think he is unbelievably underrated, especially for smaller health pools like Alliance War. But just, the easeability of being able to phase and not having to parry him. I don't have to parry him with Crossbones, but it's just simpler, right? And I have I put a power start 1 boost on as well, so that's just going to be easier with Ghost here as well. So I'm going to bait out a heavy attack, go for a special 2. At this point, we got to bait out a special 1 from this guy if he wants to throw it. If he doesn't want to throw it, that's also fine. Mr. Negative, super cool. Really want that guy as a 6-star. I think I would take him to rank 3, just like this guy did. I think he's a really cool champ. And up next, we have an actually very entertaining fight, Ghost versus Hitmonkey. Now, this is always potentially dicey, especially if you don't have Wasp with you, because Hitmonkey can be very punishing when you knock him down because he activates his 2 senses, and the way this node works, Strike Counter Fury, you have to use special attacks and knock the opponent down. And sometimes you don't want to do that against Hitmonkey depending on his power, right? So personally, this is why I put these Power Start 1 boost on specifically for this fight, because I want to go for the special 2 at a good time. And I realized right here I kind of messed up a little bit because he's going to be at a bar of power now. That's my fault, right? I should have waited a second, but now at this point, he's at 8% health. He purified that. He went for the special 1. When I went for the medium, he dexed my medium attack, and now at this point, I got the parry off, and we're going for one more final medium attack. Nope, a special 1 actually to end it off. So that was definitely a little exciting here towards the end. Let's watch that back again because that was definitely fun. So he went for the special 2, okay? Activated his senses here, okay? He shrugged that off. He went for that. Boom. He went to intercept us with the special attack. He dexed our medium. So much stuff going on in just 5 seconds of gameplay. That's definitely very easy to miss as well. So that was definitely very fun to see. So yeah, that was section 1. I think for the most part, I might have minis coming up as well. I think I do actually. So let me get that set up. Yeah, I definitely do. This was a big war. This was like 11 fights. We got the boss too. So we're taking these 3 in a row. Mysterio, and I already forget who it is. Professor X and Spider-Ham. So, I feel like Ghost is a little bit more interesting to watch when there's no Wasp at least. So yeah, she's just very effective, guys. And that's, we use the best matchup possible. And it's very, very often it's her. Unfortunately, I wish I could do everything with Crossbones and Spidey, but they have their moments for sure. Okay, so yeah, I've done this Mysterio quite a few times with Ghost. And it feels pretty safe to me. I've also done it. Have I done it with Hercules? I think in the off season I've done it with Hercules, and it's like fine. It's power snack, and when you go for the special 1 with Hercules, it activates True Sense and the Precision, and if you have Black Panther, it activates the Unblockable as well, and just one of those, goes away. So usually it's the Unblockable buff on Black Panther, because that comes before the Precision, and the True Sense does as well. So Hercules is okay on this node for sure. But basically what I like to do is I just like to push Mysterio up to a special 3 if I have to. I have an invulnerability boost on. I don't have Hood with me. That's totally fine. I think the invulnerability boost is much better than having Hood as well, because with Hood you have to time it. The invul boost, you don't have to be phased or anything, right? So yeah, this is typically how I do this Mysterio, because at this point he's going to push me up in power as well, and the special 3 actually doesn't do anything. I actually don't think Mysterio's too great placement on this node, believe it or not. I understand the idea because it gives him power and his special 1's annoying, but his special 3 doesn't do anything. So for me, I feel like, you know, the best defenders on this node are the champions who really screw you up with their special 3. So you have to bring a counter specifically for that. Mysterio just gets more attack rating. So, Mixmaster, Aggression Prowess, Professor X here. Without Wasp, we can't phase. I was supposed to do this with, I think, Hercules at first. I don't even have Hercules in the war, though. Because I think I was taking other stuff first, but then we swapped some stuff around last minute. But yeah, so this is an interesting matchup, right? Because we can't phase Professor X, so I'm kind of going about this light, medium to build up power. Now at this point, baiting out a heavy attack from this guy, going for the special 2. He can't phase that, right? And now I'm going to bait out, or I was going to try and bait out a dash, but I went a little bit too early. Look at this now. We were, you know, we hit him and we got faltered, right? So we got our little precision passive there, and we didn't get all 3 crits on the special 2, but, you know, thankfully we recognized it and we were able to go in with the special 1 to end it. So yeah, that was a fine fight. It could have been cleaner, but we got through it. Up next is the Spider-Ham. Now, Spider-Ham is definitely a very punishing opponent if you aren't ready for him, and this is one of the tougher nodes on the entire map. Node 25, Force of Will, Footloose, Kinetic Transference. Again, these are the type of fights that I really wish I had Wasp for. It'd be so much easier with Wasp, but unfortunately it can't always fit her on the team. So I have my, you know, my tech boost on. I have my power start 1 boost on, right? What I want to do here is bait out a heavy attack, go for the special 2, right? We are just under our other special 2, which is really nice to have. And now if he goes for a special 1, of course, he's going to, you know, put a taunt on me, and then he's also going to activate his Footloose, Unstoppable, and Evade. This is what I wanted to avoid. So I took the degen damage by... You know, I didn't think the power sting would kill me. I had 1 power sting on myself. I really didn't think it would kill me. It took me down to about half health because I really wanted to avoid a special attack from this guy. Unfortunately, he threw it anyway, but we got through the fight. That's the important thing. Let's move on. All right, now we have 3 interesting fights in a row. Up first, we have a crazy Crossbones fight. I've taken Thing with Crossbones in Alliance 4 a few times now, so I'm very comfy with fighting this guy on Path 5 with Crossbones now. Pretty much have it down to a science at this point. Going in here with a combat regen boost on, actually, because I'm going to be throwing a couple special 1s. And also, I'm going to be taking a little bit of block damage too, which is totally fine, right? This is Ebb and Flow Intercept here, but we're just completely turning the node off. We have 10, count them, 10 Furies already, baiting out the special 1, using a heavy attack, which that bug is still active because unfortunately that's not supposed to cost a Fury when you counter a heavy attack, okay? Light attack to get a little bit closer. We're still up at 100% health, a little bit down now, but look at this, 11 Furies now. We have increased combat power rate. We're not even caring about Ebb and Flow Intercept. We're just turning the entire thing off, pausing our Furies. Oh my goodness gracious, how much damage can one champ possibly do? Just to completely turn thing into a potato. And you guys know I absolutely love turning champs into potatoes. So up next, we have a Killmonger here. Ebb and Flow Intercept, Mighty Charge. I've done this fight a couple times with Ghost. I've never done it without Wasp, and I've never done it without a tech boost. I don't have any tech boosts left at this point, right? I was done. I used my last one, I believe, on what's her face, on what's his face, Mysterio, whoever I use it on, right? So as you can see, it's kind of going fine so far, right? Where he's down below 50% health, we're at 100% health. At this point, I'm thinking, okay, let me just go ahead and try to get an intercept, wait out the counter punch here, right? Reverb is active. Let me go ahead and just let that go away. Let's bait out a special attack. Yeah, we'll just let him throw a special attack. Ate a little combo. That's okay. Because he's going to throw a special any second now. Right? Right? Wait, is he not going to throw a special? What's going on? Is he going to keep doing this in the corner? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought he was going to throw a special attack, but I guess he didn't want to. I guess what Killmonger wanted to do was just keep me in the corner, keep going back and forth, and use his special 3 instead. So unfortunately, this is my first death in the season since war number 1. I want to break down a couple things here. I want to break down a couple things. Obviously, hindsight's 2020. Looking back at it, I see a couple things I could have done to avoid this death. Number 1 is put on an invul boost before the fight and push him to a special 3. His special 3 is not going to do anything at that point. So that would have been option number 1. Another option, and again, hindsight's 2020. What are you going to do, right? At this point, right here, after the special 2, reverb is activating, right? What I should have done is take 2 hits into the phase, activated reverb, not gotten the ebb and flow fury, and just pushed him back all the way to his side of the field. Even if I had, the fury, like I do right here, right? I go right in for the intercept. The reverb, it's not too strong. 1,182. Maybe it would have been a little bit stronger since I had the fury active at this point, but I should have just pushed him back, right? And then at this point, I should have pushed him back more. I should have kept pushing him back. I kept letting him keep me in the corner. So yeah, the AI was kind of crappy. Yeah, he didn't want to throw special attacks, but there were definitely multiple avenues for me to come out of this fight alive, and I definitely just didn't play it as well as I possibly could. Not the biggest deal in the world, to be entirely honest. Like, it doesn't really matter. It's one fight, right? But I just, whenever I do die, overanalyze it, and I try to come up with what did I do wrong? What could I have done better? How can I avoid that next time, right? So yeah, now I know for the future. I think I like invul boost for Killmonger here, no matter who I take, just in case. I'll push him to a special 3 if I have to, right? But we healed up. We have a combat regen boost on just in case we activate reverb at the improper time. But this is going to be a very quick fight here because, like I said, the first 50% went down in like 15 seconds against this guy, right? And the same thing is going to happen right here. We're going to bait out a dash, go for a special 2, and yeah. So unfortunately, if I had either a tech boost or an invul boost on, or I just played it better, we could have came out of that fight alive. Oh well, right? Up next, we have a much more interesting fight again, and that's going to be Kitty Pryde on 39. Guess who we're using? We are using Crossbones from Mutant Kitty Pryde. Critty Pryde. You don't want a critter, so Critty Pryde. So that's why we're using Crossbones. Now I remember. Initially, I had Hercules for this fight. I was going to ramp him up on Professor X. But then I was like, hey, what about Crossbones? And then Steve was like, are you crazy? And I was like, no, dude, he doesn't crit. So I'm totally not super comfy fighting Kitty Pryde with her animations yet to be fancy with Crossbones. Like with Thing, I feel like I could fight Thing like pretty super fancy, right? I'm just taking this one super duper safe. I have a combat regen boost on. I'm just taking a lot of blocked hits. The last fight I'm using Crossbones for. If she throws the special 1, I'm just going to go ahead, or the special 2, I'm going to just avoid. Special 1, I would take on the block. My whole thing here is I just do not at all want to parry her, because that's how she's going to gain charges, right? So I'm just literally eating the special 2 on the block just in case here. At this point, right? She's like, I'm thinking to myself, all right, she's Incinerate immune. I don't want to use my special 2. I'll put Incinerate on her. At this point, I'm trying to bait out a special 1 from her, but she's not going for it, right? We have an armor break going. Cool, there's a little bit of willpower healing there, which is nice, but we shrugged it off, unfortunately, right? Because we hit her. All right, but at that point, done. We got through it. Crossbones is an absolute beast, man. So Crossbones, super duper good for war. Love that guy. We have a few more fights in this war. We have some very, very interesting fights. So up first, we have a Mango Eggnog here that we're taking with Spidey 2099, one of my favorite champs at the moment. Check this out. We have all 3 Mr. Fantastic pre-fights on. Big shout out to FaZe for placing those for me. I was a little scared about Mangog's power gain at the start here. If I had the anti-venom synergy, would not have been scared at all, but I didn't. So I really wanted that 40% reduction from Mr. Fantastic. So I went in here with a power start 1 boost so I can get to a special 2 as fast as I possibly can, essentially, right? Gonna bait out a special 1. I have Despair on. I'm not worried about the debuffs, right? At this point, watch this. Spidey 2099 has more damage on his special 2, more burst damage based on how many different debuffs are on the opponent at that time. So with all the Mr. Fantastic debuffs, man, he just completely nukes these guys down, man. So I really love using this guy in war. Every single little hit is 6k. That was like, you know, every hit on the special 2 was an additional 6,000 burst damage. So yeah, love using Spidey. I'm using him next war too, just so you know. A little preview. We have an America Chavez boss and also a Sorcerer Supreme on 54. We're trying to integrate some more Mr. Fantastic pre-fights, making it a little bit easier to, you know, get like the Petrify on 54. Just make that node easier in general, whether we use Torch or Magic or whoever. Having a Petrify on for Mr. Fantastic is going to make it just so much more manageable. So yeah, but up next we have a Mojo boss. So now, you know, this guy was kind of, well, apparently Kabam tried to fix a bug and they ended up breaking him for like a war, right? So they reverted it back. This was after that happened, the day after. And it looks like he's working again, man. So yeah, that's pretty darn cool. So yeah, at this point, right, we're about to see if that Spidey 2099 100% solo against Mojo was a fluke or not, because we're about to do it again. Get the exhaustion on. The only reason why I go for the exhaustion here, as you can see, he's healing up a bit from willpower right now, right? So I want as many debuffs as I possibly can get. This is actually going to place 3 on the special 1, and the reason why I want that is just because I want to cut off all of that healing with despair. I have 3 out of 3 despair on when I use this guy in war. I don't usually run that, but I've never been like this kind of player, right, with like a Spidey 2099 kind of player in war. So I definitely do need that on, but even if I didn't have it on, actually, I don't know, man, that would be a lot of willpower healing. It really would. But yeah, all you need is basically like around 7 debuffs and you're going to be blocking it. If he has the recovery mastery on, which it looks like he does, it's going to be, you know, taking a little bit more. But look at all of the debuffs that we have now, man. And those ruptures are really taking him down. Nice explosion. And this special 2 is going to hit really nicely. But the point is, man, we're taking this guy down very, very efficiently, as you can see. And this is, so the first time was definitely not a fluke. This time is even more efficient, right? Even faster. I feel even more comfortable taking down this Mojo now. I don't want to put it into a special 2. I'd probably just be fine blocking the entire thing. It probably would take me down at most like, what, 3% health. But I'd probably just try and dex it anyway. And even if I got hit, it'd probably be fine. But yeah, so that's 2 Mojo bosses just completely nuked, man. That Mango Eggnog was completely nuked. And yeah, dude, Spidey 2099 and war. Totally love that guy in war, man. I just love that champ in general too, man, because hold on one second. I don't know, man, he's just so satisfying to use. Like, look at all these ruptures right now. If he was SIG 200, there's an 80% chance all of those would just refresh. So I'd love to get this guy SIG'd up one day, to be honest, man, because the damage potential seems to, like, I feel like his damage is really good as is, man. A lot of people don't like his damage. I do. It's fine if you don't. I like it. 8k medium, that's fine with me, dude. Like, I'm so fine with his damage, but the fact that he could have so much more burst damage is just crazy to me. So yeah, really loving that. If you couldn't tell, really loving this dude right here, man. This little spider. So cool, man. I think he's such a sick champ. I think he's so good for war. I think he's so good for so many of the mystics in the game. Yeah, whenever I get a chance to use this guy, I definitely want to use him, and he's so sick. But that's going to be it for this war. Aside from that Killmonger, that was this war, right? Yeah. This is a long video, sorry. So aside from that Killmonger, really solid war. This was war number 8, so we are now 66% of the way through the season. 4 wars left. Make sure you keep an eye out for them. Next war is featuring Spidey once again, which is always fun. There's already been a couple interesting fights. I have not done the bosses yet, so I haven't. Actually, no, I did do one Spidey fight, and it was really cool. So make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss it. And yeah, that's going to be it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, drop a like, comment what you think, and I'll be seeing you around.